The official Steam Deck dock is here. No reservations. Just buy right now and it'll come to you within a week or two. But at $90, is it really worth the price? Valve's official Steam Deck dock was delayed for quite some time, and was slated to be released at the end of spring 2022. It is now October 2022, and we've been in fall for a couple of weeks now. But I'm glad to say we finally got our Steam Deck dock. So, how's the unboxing experience? It's a very average unboxing experience, nothing special. Anyways, here's the dock. As you can see here, the dock has a display port, an HDMI, USB Type-C, Gigabit Ethernet, and 3 USB 3 ports. There are no additional ports on either the left or right side, unlike the JSOX dock. And so let's see what's inside here. This is an awfully big box for such a small dock. There's gotta be other stuff in here, right? Let's find out. And would you look at that? Valve actually gives you a power brick for this dock. This is very similar to the actual Steam Deck charger. In fact, I think they just give you another Steam Deck charger as well. So let's see what happens when we try to dock it. First and foremost, if you have a case like a Project Kill Switch or even the JSOX case, it's not going to fit in this dock. Basically, if you've got a case, you got to take it off every time you want to put it in this dock in particular. So one unique feature about this Steam Deck dock is that the Steam Deck will detect that it's actually the official Steam Deck dock, and it'll prompt you to update it through Steam Deck directly. Let's go ahead and update our dock. And as you can see there, it's updating the dock. That was pretty cool. But what's the point of a dock if you're not going to plug it into an external display, right? Let's go ahead and plug it into a TV. And this is the Steam Deck dock plugged into my 4K LG TV. And yes, while this is a 4K TV, do note that games don't run at 4K by default. Instead, they run at the typical 720p or 800p, but with a little bit of setting up, you can actually run games at 4K, like actual 4K and not upscaled to 4K. And don't mind me, I'm just casually playing platformers with my fight stick, which of course works with any Steam Deck dock really. Of course, the official Valve Steam Deck dock isn't the only dock available. These 3 docks are what I consider to be the best competition for the main Steam Deck dock. Let's start with the left one. This one here is the upgraded JSOX Steam Deck dock. I've actually reviewed this Steam Deck dock, so if you want to check out my full review, links in the description down below. As you can see with this dock is almost feature complete. It's got almost every port except for a display port. It's also somewhat cheaper than the official Steam Deck dock. If you've already bought one though, you can actually update the firmware. Links in the description down below. This next one right here is another JSOX dock. It's a little different. It's got one less USB 3 port, but this houses a little secret. As you can see here, the top actually comes off, and what does it reveal? Well, it reveals an M.2 slot, or in this case, an SSD that I've already populated with. This particular dock is somewhat more expensive than the official dock, at around $130 by default. More if you want JSOX to give you an SSD to go alongside it as well. And of course, like the other docks, this also works on my TV as well. And finally, this is the iVolar Steam Deck dock. As you can see here, it's very similar to the first JSOX dock, featuring all the same exact ports. Heck, it's even the same price as the JSOX one as well. There isn't really that big of a difference, and I've made a full review on it. Links in the description down below. So there is a plethora of Steam Deck docks available for you to get that are cheaper than the official Valve one, made out of arguably better materials as well. And one of these docks has a unique feature that the Steam Deck dock doesn't. So what makes Valve's Steam Deck dock special? While it works directly with Steam Deck, you can update the firmware directly from your Steam Deck. And arguably, the coolest party trick for anyone trying to use their Steam Deck as their main PC. That's right, dual display support. I do need to point out that dual display does not work in game mode and only works in desktop mode. And your mileage will definitely vary depending on what displays you have as well as their specs. As you can see here, it works. Actually, technically, I have a triple display setup. And I'll admit, it's not the best camera work, but as you can see here, I can move from left to right, and there I can use all 3 screens at once. As far as I know, there aren't any docks that have this feature currently available. So let's talk about the docked experience. The docked experience used to not be that great. In fact, I would argue it used to be kind of bad. But Valve has put out several different updates, some of which pertain to the docked experience. The docked experience for desktop mode, I've never really had an issue with it. At least, not until I tried to do a dual screen setup. I've got one ultra-wide monitor at 1440p, and I've got another one at 1080p, standard aspect ratio. And I just kept fiddling with the wires and eventually it worked, but that's not a great user experience though. As for game mode, the dock experience has improved substantially. Its ease of use is almost Nintendo Switch-like. But there is one major caveat. If you're someone that uses 40Hz mode on your Steam Deck, then do keep in mind that this won't necessarily transfer over onto an external display. In fact, if you're docked, that particular setting in quick access mode is disabled by default. You can re-enable that feature in developer mode while docked, but your mileage may vary. Before we get to our final verdict, let's talk about the Steam Deck being available to purchase now. Reservations are done for. You no longer have to reserve a Steam Deck. You can just buy them and it'll come within a week or two. Depending on demand, this may be subject to change. So if you didn't reserve a Steam Deck, fear no longer. You can just buy one today, right now, with your money. So let's talk about my final verdict. Is the Steam Deck dock worth it? At $90, it's not cheap. That said, the dock does come with an additional charger as well, which is like a $25 value. That does help to soften the blow a bit, but the question is, do you need a second charger? If you're unfamiliar with the world of chargers and how much power you need to actually charge a Steam Deck, then it's a welcome addition. But if you're a savvy shopper, you can probably get a better charger for cheaper. Or you could just also use the Steam Deck charger that came with your Steam Deck. That's an option. If you're just looking to plug this into a television, then you don't really need the official dock. You can just use any of the third-party docks, and it'll be cheaper as well. But if you want the official Steam Deck dock, whether it's for collector's purposes or maybe because you trust Valve more, then you can totally get it. And if you need a dock that can output to 2 different external displays, then currently this official dock here is the only dock capable of doing so. I don't think it's a terrible value, but not everyone needs one. If you wish to directly support High-Tech Lowlife, you should check out the link in the description below for our Patreon page. And if you like this video, you should give it a thumbs up and subscribe as well. And if you want, you can also join my Discord server. As always, links in the description down below for all of this.